Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Andrew, and today is day 5 of Advent of Cyber, where we get to go over exploiting XXE in web applications with a tool called Burp Sweep. So, great video today by Tyler Ramsby. Also a great walkthrough in case you've never used Burp Sweep before. That's going to walk you through the steps to be successful and to complete this room with little to no error. So I want to quickly just go over my thoughts on the room and kind of some things I got hung up on, and some things that might help you down the road to your challenge today. So as we go through, as we continue our challenge, it looks like the mayor decided with a team to quickly put together a fun site that would allow Christmas wishes to be put out with the town, which seemed to be a huge hit. However, with some concerns as they began to look through through security testing, some things may have been missed. So learning objectives today on this are going to be understanding the basic concepts related to XML, exploring XML external entities and its components, learning how to exploit that vulnerability, and then understanding remediation measures. So as we go through the site, it's going to have you go through picking a wish item, showing you the products, and then taking you to a cart where it will then ask you for your name and your address. And then it will tell you, congratulations, you have successfully made your order, and give you a wish number. So once we click on that wish number, though, however, it is going to take us to a site saying that only Santa's elves are the only ones who can view and read wishes. And this is where our tool today, Burp Sweep, is going to come into play, which is going to hopefully intercept and modify those requests in order for us to show the exploitation that we're wanting to see that can kind of direct us to what wishes we want to grab. So we're going to fast forward a little bit on a few things, and the best way I can get you guys through the rest of this is follow your Burp Sweep Community Edition guide through the Try Hack Me page. I myself did the same thing, and I was able to get to the point where once I was able to get that set up, I was able to find my exploit and then run through the rest of the room to get my ended up solution I needed. So setting up Burp Sweep is going to tell you the 3 tabs you'll be working with predominantly today, which is your proxy, intruder, and repeater. And then explain to you how you want to allow Burp Sweep's browser run without the sandbox. So once you get this turned on and running and going, it's going to spit out another URL web page tab that you'll now need to put in your Wish Villa site onto. And by doing that, and we go back into Burp Sweep, turning on the interceptor mode, we're now going to go through the entire process again of browsing through your wish list by clicking on a bear, clicking on the candy cane, one or another, and going through each process of that, which would send the data back to Burp Sweep. Now, as you send it back to Burp Sweep, it's going to capture those 5 requests, and then you're going to send those over to your repeater. And then the next thing we're looking for specifically, if you follow through your instructions still, is you're looking for something along the lines of anything in XML that like maybe looks like a list or some type of information that we might be able to make some edits to. Now, there's 2 different ways we can do this, and you can either follow the green text file here that's going to allow you to kind of make the edits you need to get the results you want, or you can do what I did. I jumped onto Guide to XML Entities and was able to kind of find the script I wanted to put into to make my edits, to make sure I can make my change. So as we see on one of our second requests, which is if you follow the process, you're going to see, we see our wish list and our information. So we can quickly copy pasta, and once again, you can either go over here from your guide, or you can go off another payload that you find simply off the website. You can simply Google these and find them. We're going to look into this payload change, and then we know that as an admin, usually rather than just going to the etc host, we're looking for the var www html directory. And don't make the same mistake I did. When I was going through my directory, I was trying to get this to work. I ended up having wishes without an E, and it took me probably about 20 minutes to determine and figure out why my information was not showing up. So once this is entered in here, we're simply going to keep our user ID as 1, but then our product ID, we're changing that to an and sign, and then your payload, which is what you're calling our little injection right here, with the ending of a semicolon. We're going to hit send on that request, and what this is going to do is if we get a good response, we should now be seeing the wish we made. Now, I mentioned before that I did this about 2 to 3 times, so I have multiple wishes on my list. So this one, for example, is my wish 21. for my Warville Jolly Cap. Now, let's say I wanted to see my wish 22 or 23. I'm simply going to go back to my script here, and I'm going to change my wish out to 21 to 22. I'm going to hit send. And by going back to my response tab, what we should see is my now wish 22 entry with my information. And it looks like we do. Here we go. Wish 22, Ginger Hacker 1, address Ginger Addy. Now, I could, if we want to, just simply go in here and change out all my wishes and go from 1 to whatever number we know. And if you recall, when you entered in your wish, it should have put you, I think, at either wish 21 or wish 22. So ideally what we're wanting to probably see on our first flag challenge is it wants us to maybe find one of the flags and other the additional wishes. So you could simply just go through here and simply just go 1 through 15 or 1 through 25 or 1 through 21 and then view every single one independently. However, what we're going to do is, oh, nope, too far. What we're going to do is we're going to go back here to our request data. We're going to right click this. We're going to send it to intruder, which I already have. Go here to intruder. If I can get this to work. Okay, awesome. So we have our payloads. Let's see if this worked. Okay, excellent. So what we did is rather than going through this one at a time, when we right clicked and send this to our intruder, there's one extra step you'll have to probably go in here and do. So if you go over here right to your payloads, we're changing our payloads to numbers. And then we're doing our payload configuration from the number 1 to 20. And then we already hit our attack on that, so we can just go pivot back to this. We're going to close that. And now we can simply just go through here, pull this up a little bit. And we now see all of our wish.1 text. So now we go wish 2. Let's go to responses. There we go. So now we can see all of our responses. So wish 1, Mayor malware. Wish 2, Mayor malware. 3, Mayor malware. So it looks like he was very adamant on testing this application today. And we can kind of go now through all the numbers we just did. So 1 through, I think, 20. And right now we're kind of just looking for any information that might be beneficial. And there we go. Looks like on flag payload number 15, we see our first flag, which is the brute forcing my way. So pulling that down, we can kind of go and see that next piece of information, and we get our first flag. Now, for the second portion of this, if you kind of go down in your conclusion, and you can consider this some more free chicken, but once again, if you just continue reading through your walkthrough, you'll see that when it comes to discovering a vulnerability, usually admins or even sometimes other people can go to a changelog and see if a changelog file exists. So the other means of getting our last flag for this room is simply going up here to our path. And we went too far, 215. And we're going to look for our changelog. Changelog, enter. And it looks like they fixed the wishlist app, which we see our next flag, the Mayor malware backdoors. So almost done with this wishlist page. Needs to handle the XML parsing. And there we go. Finally done with this landing page and the initial CSS. So yeah, that is my quick and dirty walkthrough that we got through today on day 5. So like I said, some small issues that I faced were just basic spelling. Make sure you're spelling out wishes the correct way with an ES. And I had a lot of fun with this today. Burp Sweep is an amazing tool that can kind of show and step by step show you kind of the request response things you're seeing when it comes to web traffic. So if you've never used it before, I'd definitely consider playing around with it a little bit more. But hey, thanks so much for staying around for this room today. Had a blast, had a lot of fun. Hopefully you learned something new. Please drop in the like and comments if you faced any kind of weird or interesting challenges on today's challenge as well. And I'll see you guys on day 6. Keep hacking.